starting these are always so awkward. I never know, like, honestly, the same thing with like a stand-up set. I'm gonna start this the same way. I'll start a stand-up set with something neutral that everyone enjoys. All right, so everyone likes dogs, right? I love dogs. Do you guys think when a dog has sex missionary that they call it human style? And I know what you're thinking. Dogs don't have sex missionary. Well, they do when I fuck them. Welcome to SnowDay. I am doing this because I have too much time on my hands and I am tired of writing shit. I like writing. I love writing. Every so often, I get tired of it and I want to do other stuff. The last two things I've written, I wrote a whodunit where it was these three high school rappers or wiggers. I said that was a W. Weegros, if you prefer. But they all do shrooms one night. Next morning, speaking of dogs, next morning, older brother, the drug dealer, who's giving him the weed and the shrooms, his dog is bludgeoned to death, beaten in the back, to death in the backyard, and it's like, all right, which one of these Weegros lost their shit and killed the dog? And that was a fun thing to write. I actually am very proud of it. I think it came out well. Probably will never get made. It's one of those things where as you're writing it, it's like, well, a dog dies in the plot, so that's already upsetting, number one, for just most audiences. But also there were some niche things that so there's a school officer that's kind of like a little bit too nosy, and eventually he kind of plays into the plot line. But for whatever reason, when I had this idea, I imagined him as a man afflicted with GHD, growth hormone disease, or growth hormone deficiency. It's a Andy Milonakis disease. I'll plug in a picture of Andy Milonakis here. But because I thought that would be funny for like an authoritative figure to be a little person. I'm talking too much about this. I'm sucking my own dick here. Point being, I wrote that and then I was like, all right, I'm done writing. It was spooky. I'm done writing spooky stuff. So then I went polar opposite and I wrote a little comic strip and I called it Robin Thicke. Not Robin Thicke like the artist, but Rob and Thicke. And I'll plug in a picture of this. It's about a man with a clinically depressed penis. Because I think that's good fun. That's just good fun. I finally finished Post Office by Charles Bukowski. I've been like slowly going through it on my Kindle. And Charles Bukowski, slightly overrated. I feel like there's better. I'm a wreck-a-book. The 11th Hour by Lynn Erickson. I grabbed it. It was at a thrift store. It was like a to-go, just free thing I grabbed when I was in Texas last year. It's so good. So good. I highly recommend that. That's Gabe's Reading Corner. I'll move on from there. A couple of things I jotted down if you're wondering what I'm looking at. Black emojis. Let's talk about it. I had someone send me, they asked me to cover a shift at work. They said thank you with the black prayer hands. And it reminded me of, I had this white lady one day. I forgot when this was exactly, but she said something that's, I think same thing. I think like thank you, and she sent me black prayer hands, but it was a white lady. It was like an old white lady, and it cracked me up because I was like, I don't know if she even is aware that she did that. And I was like, are white people allowed to use the black emojis? Also, why did we need black emojis? I'm not trying to. I know they're not for me, but we were like the Simpsons before. We all just had yellow emoji, Asian emojis. We all had the yellow emojis, and I felt like it was just everyone could use those, and it was all encompassing. And now it's kind of weird where it's like, what shade of emoji am I feeling? Can I be like, maybe I'm not sad guy today. I'm sad black guy today. Sad black guy emoji. Or happy black guy emoji if you prefer that. That's all I got about emojis. I don't know. YouTube comments. YouTube comments crack me up. I've had this thought a few different times because I rarely ever look at them, but every so often I'll be listening to a class like A Spirit in the Sky by Nom Green, whatever that guy's name is. In the spirit in the sky, spirit in the sky. I don't want to get copyrighted here. Beautiful singing, I know. But someone will comment like, I remember the first time I heard this, I was driving home from 9/11, and my son had Parkinson's, and it's just like these. I'm like, this is a lot. People like drop just the heaviest trauma on YouTube comments, and part of me is like, is this real or is this just like a you just doing it for some likes, some sympathy likes? It feels weird, and it makes me want to like troll and just do kind of like what I just said. Like I was driving home from 9/11, driving not flying, and my son just got diagnosed as black and autistic, which that sucks if you're black and autistic. You get the short bus and month. That's brutal. All right. What else do we want to talk about here? Oh, do you think raisins ever feel some type of way about peanut M&Ms? Like I don't know. Like we had something. I thought we had something special. Peanut M&Ms are brilliant. They're like, do you fuck with trail mix? All right, we took the worst part of it out. Boom. I actually like raisins, but most people don't like raisins. You get my point here. While I'm on cleaning candy, while we're talking candy, I think M&Ms and Raisinets. Why has that not been a collab yet? They put potato chips in Reese's. They do all these crazy candies. Like, easy. It's right there. It's trail mix. No one would buy it. I'd buy it. I'd be the only person that buys it, but it was right there. But my real complaint, Almond Joy and Mounds. I enjoy dark chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate man myself. I like things black. I like my coffee black. When the waitress comes to me and she says, would you like some cream and sugar with that? I say, no, I'm a black man. But Mounds, you can't. It's just coconut chocolate. I like almonds as well. Almond Joy is milk chocolate around coconut with the almond. Why can't I get the almond in my Mounds with the dark chocolate? Why do I have to pick between dark chocolate or almond? Why can't I have both? It's right there. You're in the same factory. Get on it, Almond Joy. Mounds Company. I'm very passionate about my candies. Alright, I'm going to keep this short because this is insane. This is a spoken manifesto. I'm speaking to the ether. I'm just singing for the angels here. Alright, I put a poll on Instagram because and the question was what's something that feels illegal? What's things that feel illegal but totally aren't? And I put that because on my lunch break the other day, I was supposed to go bowling. Plans fell through. I was craving bowling alley pizza though, and I thought about it. I was like, you could just go buy the bowling alley pizza without bowling. And I went and did it on my breaks. The bowling alley is actually closer than any pizzeria, and I felt like they knew. Like I felt like the lady was looking at me like, this guy isn't here bowling. This guy just came here on his break to buy the pizza from the bowling alley. And it kind of felt liberating. It felt like I was getting away with something, like doing something I was not supposed to be doing. But anyways, I asked people, like, what's something that feels illegal but totally isn't? And here were the responses. At AntSmash6969 said, morning head. Haven't gotten morning head in a while. I'll be honest with you. But when I got it, never thought this feels illegal. I get what you're saying. Like, it's so good, this shouldn't be allowed. But agree to disagree on that one. At Chris Connors with a Z, put drinking and driving. Pretty sure that's illegal. That being said, everyone drinks and drives. Everyone has drank and driven before. I don't drink anymore, but I drank and drove a little bit. I remember my Mama Duke, she was giving me shit. She's like, I never drank and drove. That was one thing because I had a kid back then. I was like, pussy, fucking. You gotta get home. Be irresponsible. What am I gonna do? Leave my car without fucking around? There's Uber, there's Lyft. Don't drink and drive. Bad, Chris, bad. At Chuck Chill Out Comedy said, dining and dashing at the homeless shelter. This is a good answer. You're totally allowed to do that. I've volunteered at the homeless shelter before. They think I'm there for the soup. This is homeless chic. I have the look. I get it. You were allowed to do. You're allowed to do that though. It's fucked up. Let the homeless people get the food. Chuck, but good one. Harry Van Ness at Harry Van Ness said, "Drunk go karting again. Pretty sure that's illegal. I think it's illegal. They don't. There's no. There's no police go karts though. That would be funny getting a Dewey at the go kart ring. You're just hammered, having to walk the fucking. That's the Dewey test at a go kart mini golf place. You have to walk along the bricks next to the golf course, and if you fall off, you're drunk. You're not allowed back to putt putt. But I guess that's fair. You could totally get away with it. If you're gonna drunk drive, go karts. That's the way to do it. That's safe. I like how you think, Harry. At no ___. It's Becky said driving when a cop is behind you. There's a lot of driving. A lot of driving in these. Yes. When a cop pulls up behind you, you're immediately like, I'm fucking guilty. I did it. You're technically allowed to, like, as long as you're not breaking the law. But I understand this one. There's certain things where, like, driving while eating feels illegal. It might be, but it's like a gray area. Light on. You're allowed to put a light on in a car. That was a lie. All our parents told us. There's no law saying you can't have the light on in the car. Before I get out of here, I guess I'll address why SnowDay. Why the name SnowDay? And I thought about it. And I had snowballs. I had faux snowballs. And I thought, fuck it. You know what? That already fits the theme. Also, snow days were the best when you were a kid. Like, think about when you were a kid. You get to stay home, eat a bowl of cereal, watch SportsCenter, jerk off like 4 times before it's even noon. Back when you used to be able to do that. You used to be able to run it back. You didn't even jizz yet. There was no cleanup. This is getting gross quick. But snow days were the best. There's a little piece of home. You know, the hot chocolate. Like, talking it up. I've been doing this joke in my act lately. Cause I don't whack off a bunch. Said every man that whacks off a bunch. No, but I don't whack off a bunch. Antidepressants kill the libido, but I had a dream not too long ago that I was jerking off, and it was a very upsetting way to wake up. Because dreams are supposed to be anything you can conceive, and part of me was kind of like, why wasn't I getting pussy? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I got robbed. Thank God it wasn't a wet dream. That'd have been if I woke up from a dream of me jerking myself off, I guess it'd be a hand-free beat. Like, I would have Bluetooth jerked off. That would have been kind of cool. But, no, it's not cool. I'd rather be getting pussy in my dreams. It's upsetting. I talked to my shrink about it. And she was like, I was like, what does this mean? She kind of told me, like, I don't know. Don't try to make too much meaning of it, but I'm a firm believer in that dreams come true. And I was like, I need to have more aspirational dreams. This has been the first episode of SnowDay.